tell everyone what happened at Drake's Spine. And I'm going to need Otto's help.
Clive. Coin purse weighing you down? You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
So what do I owe the honour? I'm saying Fornian, dear. No scratches, right? And?
Still alive, are you? Go on, then. It'd better all be here. Is that all?
Trouble with your gear, or... I'm saying Fornian, dear. Yeah, that should do you. No scratches, right? Yeah, that should do you. And?
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. wish to study the tomes? Did you learn everything you needed?
Is this the last of the mother crystals, do you think? Or could there be others buried out there?
There's nowt like a fuck-off crystal hanging over the horizon to sour your eel.
Sid! Look what the curse breakers brought back from Dalmekia. Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Eh? A bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
You look like you could do with a drink. Coming right up. Don't be a stranger, Sid. Welcome back, Sid. Might be a mo. What can I get you, Sid? That's what we like to hear. Knock 'em back, everyone. Sid's buying. Don't be a stranger, Sid.
If there's anything special you fancy supping on before you go, I'd be glad to make it for you, as long as it's grand.
Enthroned in sable skies, chaos in wars.
You don't know what you're talking about. The odor is what gives chances to...
Origin, he called it. But the origin of what?
It's not often our entire merry flock returns home to roost at once.
Clive, how may I help you today? I have the details here.
Of course. Here you are. Thus ends today's lesson.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck, then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well,
the Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canva is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archae above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset. consider. Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be, but a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Take as much time as you need, brother. Something tells me Ultima will wait.
Say your farewells, and let us be gone.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. What is it this time, Torgal? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No. Thank you, Clive.
Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course. I was want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Sid,
By all means.
It's my old master. And something else.
How did she come by such...
Finding bearers always was. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. And even better for her.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by...
Sid, I'd like...
We'll be needed.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to.
Thank you. Chadwick. Another thought of him held captive in...
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find...
The entrance to the... We should...
Sid, I was...
It depends what...
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds is key. As you know, the work...
I don't mind, but...
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting? We're few with the nose for that. Which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanied...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
What do you think happened to Miss...
Sid, you have to help us.
With what?
No. Well, yes.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Not long...
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Don't listen to her.
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together?
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that. She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
I will not let them be fooled. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to... My name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. I will not send good men. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. I was raised in... Or rather, it was not a place of nurture. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone, and few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. The Institute was run with military precision. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace.
All right.
May the mothers guide you.
suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
So, there's
One moment you think you've freed the realm from her fate. The next...
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in Lubor's ill-gotten gil, perhaps?
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is...
If it's within my power.
It's the children. And if I leave them here, they surely will. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be...
Of course.
Thank you, Clive.
Lubor!
What is it, Ferda?
There's been a flood in the Velcroy. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in...
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits are one. We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. Well, what do you...
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else.
Your Grace, my lord.
Cyril.
Yes. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
It is true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic?
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
It would not. But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the... If you go...
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke. The town was left all but unguarded, and though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if...
Of course.
Thank you, Clive. Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plan. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No, he must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him, but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him.
Fight him? Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. Which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry. Well, yes. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
How are you doing? Here you go. Always something, isn't there?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you. All in good time, eh? Come again. I may have more for you.
Nid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
All right, Sid.
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project.
Most bones are the same. If it's durability you're looking for...
I do. Will any old adamant...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. Or what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind. Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clyde. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please, it's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Hippocrates to... but perhaps...
If you say so.
Forgive me, but this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today.
The hour fast approaches. My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must be stopped.
He must.
Make ready.
Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates, I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed, one whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the Executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the Executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
So, will it be?
And how am I meant to do that then?
That it? Fine.
Say what you will.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal? All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. Good girl. Faster! You deserve a rest. Enough of you, are there? The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks? His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you from a distance.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introduction. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care.
Your care?
That is not but by one means or...
Then I'll have to politely... I won't let you erase I...
Then we find out very well.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive, but we have...
Why do you want it so bad?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression. Would you say that this interpret...
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for... There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control...
We are trying to protect people from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. I can walk from here. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Disposed of. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. And where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. I'm done here. Let's go. Yeah! Doris is waiting for me near Balmung. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry. You deserve a rest. There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates. It's a different story inside. If Chadwick was being held here...
Don't give up hope just yet. Let me check the ground floor.
Then I'll search the upper level.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Locked up tight. So this place was no ordinary prison. And Minimal loss of Waluda lives. Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. They were feeding bearers to it. Nothing but a Kashyyyk down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No luck downstairs.
I know. Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this, pitting bearers against and not just those who could fight, but and those who wouldn't.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. Finish up here.
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming.
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must...
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he?
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen. Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days.
She is. I thank the flames we found her.
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. How he fought to the bit. That's the man
I wish I could have met. I'd like to hear more.
Of course. You already met my former master. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. So we escaped. After so many years of training.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath.
Thank you, Doris. Vivian, I found it.
Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something, that the truth is just a matter of collective belief, and that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does, but it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps I, too, have always felt somehow set apart. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, and that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one...
Do you still feel that way?
Honestly? I'm not entirely sure anymore. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study... So if you'll permit me, remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back. You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
I hear that you traveled to Ash. Sid, did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did.
If I may? The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. My friends. I can still remember their faces. Like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive?
It's not your fault. See that their names live on.
I'm going to write a book. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering. And in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
You alright? About that. Oi! Let's... You off then?
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates.
Still alive, are you? What are you still here for? Coin purse weighing you down? You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. I'll be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. I'll be thankful you got that much. Is that all?